Children, today we have to discuss about errors in a measurement. So main topic is the propagation of errors. But before that, you should be familiar with some new terms. Okay. So you remember, children, in class 10 you have measured the focal length of the given convex lens, or you have done Ohm's law experiment. So whenever the teacher might have demonstrated the experiment, the observations has been taken a number of times, 3 times, 4 times, it has been repeated, and the average value was calculated as the correct value. So why we are repeating the measurements a number of times? We are repeating the measurements a number of times to minimize or to reduce the errors which can be possible while taking the observations. Okay. So we are going to discuss in detail about that. So any physical quantity you consider. So that physical quantity I have measured a number of times, say A1, A2, A3, etc. up to n number of times AN. So that particular physical quantity, the number of times measured, these are the measured values we have taken, A1, A2, A3, etc. up to AN. So how can we calculate the true value or average value or mean value? That is very simple. All of you know that. If you add all the measurements and that measurements divided by the number of times, how many times you have taken the measurements. If 4 times, you will consider A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 divided by 4. So this formula I have written for number of times, n number of times. So A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus etc. up to AN divided by n, which I have written as the average value A bar or mean value A mean. So that is the first thing which you should know, which you know already, that is the average value or mean value. Okay. And next, it's a new term for you. You have to discuss about, or you should know about, what is meant by absolute error. Okay. So absolute error means it is the magnitude of, listen children, the magnitude of difference between the true value of the physical quantity which is measured and the individual measured value. For example, we have calculated the average value as A bar. A bar is the average value, and the absolute error in the first measurement, A1 is our first measurement. So absolute error in the first measurement is delta A1. And how can we write this delta A1? It is the magnitude of difference of that measurement from the true value. Here the mean value or true value you have calculated, which is the average value. So the average value minus first measurement, that will give the absolute error in the first measurement. Okay. Similarly, A2 is the second measured value. So the absolute error in the second measurement, we can write it as delta A2 is equal to A bar or A mean value minus A2. Okay. Now suppose the third measurement is represented by A3. So the absolute error in the third measurement, that will be delta A3 is equal to A bar minus A3. So here what is A bar? A bar is the mean value which we are considering as the true value minus A3. A3 is the third time which we have measured the value. Okay. So this delta A1, delta A2, delta A3 etc. Respectively the absolute error in the first measurement, second measurement, third measurement etc. Then from that we can calculate the mean absolute error, because n number of times we have calculated the absolute errors. So the mean absolute error, which we are representing it as delta A bar. How we can write that? The magnitude of absolute error in the first measurement plus absolute error in the second measurement plus etc. Absolute error in the nth measurement whole divided by n. Means what we have to do? You calculate the absolute error in each measured value. You add all these absolute errors and divided by the number of measurements. So you can calculate the absolute error of mean value or average value of the absolute error. Okay children. So any physical quantity, we have calculated the average value of that physical quantity and the absolute error average value also we have calculated. So whenever we represent any physical quantity, how we will represent any physical quantity A? It can be represented as its true value. First we will write the true value of that physical quantity. Then plus or minus the mean value of absolute error. So that separately you have to calculate. The means the exact value you have calculated, number of measurements you have done. Each time some error can be possible. So how the error calculated, we have seen that. Okay. So finally when you write any physical quantity, how to write? Any physical quantity, first you will write the true value. True value means this average value. Plus or minus the mean of absolute error. Why we are writing this plus or minus? Because from the true value in each measurement, some errors, it can be more than the true value or it can be less than the true value. That's why we have written this plus and minus. Okay. So we discussed about absolute error, its mean value. Okay. Now we have to discuss about relative error. How to represent the relative error in the measurement. The relative error can be represented as, see that it's a ratio. Which ratio? It's a ratio of the mean absolute error divided by the true value. Okay. Delta A bar divided by A bar. Delta A bar, that is the mean value or average value of the all absolute errors. And A bar represents the true value or the average value of the measured physical quantity. And this ratio, that is called relative error. And next we have to discuss about percentage error. Percentage error is, it's simple, nothing. When we express relative error in terms of percentage, means delta A bar divided by A bar into 100. That is the error we are, relative error we are representing in terms of percentage. That is called percentage error. Clear, children? So all these terms you should be familiar with that. Then only we can discuss about the propagation of errors or combination of errors. Okay. So when we discuss about propagation of errors or combination of error, some certain general rules have to be followed. Okay. So children, again you consider any two physical quantities. Let A and B are the two physical quantities. Any physical quantities. You can take length, you can take mass, you can take current, resistance, any quantities. And the corresponding absolute errors in the measurements, let it be delta A and delta B. Okay. So two quantities we have considered A and B, and the absolute error in the measurement of first quantity A is delta A, and in the second quantity is delta B. Okay. Then if Z represents the result, result means when you add two quantities, the sum. When you subtract two quantities, the difference. When you multiply that product, like that. So Z represents the result and the delta Z represents the absolute error in the result. Okay. Now let us consider different cases. The first case you consider, you are adding two quantities. Say for example, you have given a system of two bodies, two masses, say M1 and M2. Suppose M1 is, say some mass is given, say 5 kg, and M2 is 2 kg. You have to add and you have to express in terms of the errors. Correct value you have to write. Okay, so a number of times you have taken the measurements, you have calculated the average value, and each time you have calculated the absolute error also, and you have the result. And how to represent the result in general form, we know that. This is the way to write the generally how to write the any physical quantity. So in the first term, we took two masses, M1 and M2. Here we have represented it as A plus B. Then what about the error in the result? The rule is that, general rule is that, see children, up to last year the derivation part was there. This year the derivation is not there, only you have to study the formula. So it's easy for you. Okay, the absolute error in the result delta Z is equal to absolute error in the first physical measurement plus absolute error in the second physical quantity, the measured value. Okay, So delta Z is equal to delta A plus delta B. So that means when you add two quantities, the true value should be added. We know that Z is equal to A plus B. True value should be added. The absolute error delta Z, that also you have to add the absolute errors in the two measured physical quantities. Okay. Now consider the second case. Z is equal to A minus B. That means you are subtracting two quantities. Say for example, you have given temperature of two bodies. Okay. And you have to calculate the difference of temperature. So you have to subtract. So the true value you will subtract. Say first body temperature is say 25 degrees Celsius. The second body is 20 degrees Celsius. True value you will calculate 25 minus 20. 5 degrees Celsius, that is the true value. But what should be done with the errors? As per the rule, the error in the measurement delta Z is again given by delta A plus delta B. Children, remember here, true value you will subtract, but regarding the absolute error, you are not supposed to subtract the absolute error. Again, you will add, that is the maximum possible error. So in both the cases, when you add two physical quantities or when you subtract two physical quantities, the absolute errors you have to add. True value as per the case, it can be positive or it can be minus as per the question. But regarding the errors, absolute errors, always in both these two cases, in addition and subtraction, the errors you are supposed to only to add those absolute errors. Okay, that about the first two cases. Then the third and fourth case, when you multiply two quantities or when you divide two quantities. Say for example, a rectangular body, you have given the length of the body and breadth of the body. You have to calculate the area of the body. Okay. So or suppose a metallic Ohm's law, it's familiar experiment. So potential difference across the conductor is given, current flowing through the conductor is given. You have to calculate the resistance of the conductor. So R is equal to V by I. Formula you know. So that is the division of two physical quantities. Either in the multiplication or in the division of two quantities, the true value as per the case you will do. If it is multiplication, you will multiply the true value. If it is division, you will divide the true value. But how to represent the error? And here, remember children, we are not used to represent as per the rule. You are not used to represent in terms of absolute error as you have done in these two cases. We have to express in terms of relative error. See that? Delta Z by Z. What is delta Z here? Absolute error in the result. Z is the true value of the result. So delta Z by Z is the relative error in the result is equal to delta A by A. Delta A by A, that means relative error in the first measurement. Delta B by B, that is the relative error in the second measurement. So what is to be done? You are supposed to add the relative errors in the two physical quantities. Okay. The same case with the division also, as we have discussed. Either you can represent in terms of relative error or you can express in terms of percentage error also. This equation you multiply throughout 100. So we can get delta Z by Z into 100 equal to delta A by A into 100 plus delta B by B into 100. And this is the percentage error we know, the formula we have discussed already. So percentage error in the result equal to percentage error in the first measurement plus percentage error in the second measurement. Okay. So 4 cases already we have discussed: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And the next is any quantity which involves the relation with the power of any quantities. Say for example, a sphere, you are given a sphere, radius of the sphere is given. You have to calculate the volume. So volume formula, all of you know that, 4 by 3 pi r cube. So volume is directly proportional to cube of the radius. Okay. Or the centripetal force formula, all of you know that, mv squared by r. So centripetal force dependence with mass m to the power 1, then v square, square of velocity divided by radius. Okay, so 3 dependent quantities are there which involves the powers. So in such cases, how to calculate the errors? The true value as per the formula we will calculate. If it is 4 by 3 pi r cube, we will calculate the value, the true value. But what should be done with the errors? Again, that is related to the relative error. Delta z by z is equal to, see that children, here in the first dependent quantity is A and its dimension is P, power is P. So P into delta A by A, the first dimension into relative error in the first measurement. Then plus Q into delta B by B. So B is the second dependent quantity and Q is its dimension. So Q into relative error in the second measurement plus C to the power R, means the third quantity is mv squared by R, the denominator quantity is radius, R raised to 1, there the dimension is 1. So let us take the general case, C to the power R. So plus R into delta C by C, relative error in C. Okay, see children, one thing here you listen, this quantity C raised to R in the denominator, but still when you write the errors, you are not supposed to substitute here minus. It is not minus at all. As per the formula, as per the rule, it is plus only. Plus R into delta C divided by C. Okay, so relative error in the result is equal to P into relative error in the first measured quantity plus Q into relative error in the second measured quantity plus R into relative error in the third measured quantity, where P, Q, R all are the powers or the dimensions of all that dependent quantities. So different cases, 5 cases we have discussed. Hope it is clear for you children.